So what's going on, everyone? This is Dave, and I know, where the heck have I been? Where is teamRAGE going? Yes, the page is not active. We have not been doing tryouts. Who's a part of teamRAGE? No one knows who's a part of teamRAGE. Okay, I'm gonna answer all those questions right now. So for the past, several weeks, there has been a lot of internal operations going on. I'm aware that teamRAGE has been, at least from the outside, it looks kind of frozen. But that's all my fault. I have not, been able to be as clear. Have not been able to communicate, what the plan is. But that's all changing today. Now, to do this, to show you guys, I prepared like a cute little video with some animations and so you can have some visuals to look at apart from me. Here is, the roadmap 2018. So I've been working on this roadmap for several nights now, and I'm really hoping it makes sense. It's a lot more complicated, but I've simplified it for the sake of this video. So a roadmap is basically a step-by-step plan of how we're going to grow teamRAGE. It is broken down into 3 phases, at least 2018 is. We'll worry about 2019 when the time comes. The steps laid out are in order, so meaning we have to do 1 before we can advance to 2. 1 and 2 will set up for step 3 and so on. So they're all in a specific order, and we cannot get to step 4 without doing 1, 2, and 3. So the 3 phases are: first, build the brand; second, secure sponsors; and last, build our competitive. Now, I put them in this order for specific reasons. So let me go ahead and break down each phase one by one, and then at the end, you're going to be able to see why I chose this order and how this is the most logical way to build a successful esports organization. So first, let's take a look at phase 1. Phase 1 is building the brand. Now, what does that mean? Build the brand basically means for us to have a strong presence in the industry we're a part of. In this case, it's esports and gaming. So to do this, to achieve this milestone, we're going to have 3 goals or 3 key establishments that need to be in place in order to achieve this. The first one is having a creative team. Now, a creative team is basically a team of editors and designers that will take clips from members and the community to create high quality content that will be featured on our social media platforms. Now, this is a good opportunity for anyone who wants to create or anyone who wants to be featured. The second goal will be to have community servers. In our case, we're going to be using public Discord servers, and they're going to be designed as a space for gamers to come and connect with us and other gamers. This will increase communication with everyone, and being a part of these servers will have a lot of perks and utility for anyone who joins. And finally, the last part for phase 1 will be to have our sponsorship program. Now, this program is where teamRAGE actually is the sponsor. So our goal is to sponsor streamers and influencers who work hard on their channel and need support of a brand. We're going to offer a lot of perks and support because we believe that it is always best to grow together. There's people out there working hard on growing, so are we. It's a lot better when we can help each other out, and this is one of my personal things here, is to have a sponsorship program designed to support those who are working hard. At the end of phase 1, we would have these 3 things in place and working. So after completing phase 1, we move on to phase 2, which is to secure sponsors. What we're going to do is we're going to take everything from phase 1, all our accomplishments and all of that data, and we're going to put it in what's called a sponsorship deck. Basically what that is just a package that puts together everything that your business has or is doing, and you present that to potential sponsors. They will be able to use that to determine if you are a business or a brand that they're willing to invest in. After that, we move on to step 2, which is called Team Bank, but will consist of several legal tasks that we must do, from forming a corporation to creating the bank account to dealing with trademarks, etc. All that boring stuff that must be taken care of will happen at this stage. Lastly, at the end of phase 2, that's when we're going to be securing sponsors. So we're going to be set by this point so that we can be worthy of sponsorship. By now, we should have our legal stuff in place. We should have the sponsorship deck. All the accomplishments from phase 1 are in place. Now we're ready for sponsors, some great partners who can give us the resources and the funding so that we can move on to phase 3. The success of phase 1 and phase 2 will have prepared us so that we can be more able to do phase 3. Currently, we have no resources or no funding to support competitive. If our team was to compete in a tournament, we don't have enough resources to pay for their travel expenses. We don't have enough resources to have a team house. All these things are necessary in order to have a successful competitive roster, which is why we left this one last. First, we're going to build the brand, secure sponsors. Now we're in a good position to build a competitive roster. How are we going to approach phase 3 will be in also 3 steps. The first one will be to do a tournament. The tournament we're doing is called Kill Zone. In this step, we're going to attract competitive players. So we're going to have the good players come to us, and we're going to scout and see how the competition looks. This is also going to be a good platform for any current members to test out their skills to see if they're good enough. So that's how we're going to get into the competitive scene, is with a tournament, so that we can be connected to a lot of good players. After that, the first game we're going to focus on will be Call of Duty Black Ops 4 by then. The reason why we're doing Black Ops 4 first is because this one is on console as opposed to PC. Console is not the easiest by any means, but it is the most logical, at least for us, since I am primarily in console. A lot of our members play on console, and the PC world is a little, different. But nonetheless, we will venture out to PC, which is step 3, when we start venturing out to other games. We're going to be riding the success of Call of Duty and keep acquiring resources and funding and sponsors and partners so that we can continue to repeat the process and move on to other games such as Rainbow Six, Rocket League. Hopefully Fortnite has some competitive, and possibly Halo, among other games as they come up. So if we take a look at everything at a glance, we can see that each phase has a timeline. Phase 1 will be between May to July, phase 2 is August to September, and phase 3 is for the rest of the year. 2019 is still to be determined depending on how this year goes, but for now these are the 3 phases we're going to do, and we're going to do them in that order. So if it is June, that means that that's phase 1, and we're now focusing on comp. Alright, so the most important question is, how can you get involved? So anyone can. I'm going to lay it all out on the website. So on the website, I'm going to have a visual representation of this video. So basically a page that's going to have the entire roadmap, and I'm going to list, all the steps detailed, and who are the key players, who are the key, key goals and milestones that we have in mind. So basically a whole layout so that, you guys can see the journey, you guys can see what we have in mind and how we're going to get there. So that's going to be on the website. I'll have a link on it in the description. I will also have a video for each phase. So phase 1 will have a video of, how we're going to do phase 1, how we're going to accomplish this, who are the key players, like who do we need to achieve that first phase. And if you look at that, if you look at the key players, that's where you can get involved. For example, phase 1 requires you need directors. Well, what does the director do? If you find out and you can do that, then you can be involved. During the phases, that's where I'm going to be explaining to you guys how to get involved. So if we're in phase 1 and you're a competitive player, right? Anything that is not part of phase 1, the phase we're working on, it's going to be really difficult to accommodate for you. We cannot provide for you during that phase because our focus is that phase. So that's the first thing you need to ask, like what is it that your skill set or you're interested in, and then see which phase you fit in, and then just go at it. So I'm going to have everything laid out. The next one coming up is going to be for phase 1. So check that one out. See if you want to, if you're one of the people who can adapt and just want to be part of it and you can do anything, then check it out. You're going to see, who we need, who are the key players, and what we need to do. And if you can help and you can be part of it, then yeah, for sure, we invite you. You're welcome. You can be part of the team. So I hope this video was not as, as long or too long. If you made it this far, shout out to you. Thank you so much. In the comment section, after seeing this, if you have any feedback, ideas, or anything, put them in the comments. I'm very curious, to what you guys think, and to see if any of you guys have like the same mindset. And that's it. So I'll catch you guys soon. Peace out.